Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we're going to talk about the luxury bubble bursting. It's over. It's over. The novelty has worn off. Luxury brands have mellowed. Or have they? And is it over? We're going to find out in this video. So first, subscribe to my channel here on the tubes. You can push the join button next to the subscription button, become a member today, and gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob, all spelled together, for extra perks there as well. So thank you to my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week. Join me in the live chats. Hi to my co-chattors. I have several articles here, you guys. One of them is from Art News, and it specifically talks about the bursting of the luxury bubble. When that bubble bursts in LVMH's face. And so Bernard Arnault, just yesterday, so as we're filming this video, the news popped, that bubble popped yesterday. Listen to this. He allegedly, Bernard Arnault, founder of LVMH and major art collector, allegedly loses $11 billion after a stock sell-off, which started happening yesterday. Could you imagine losing $11 billion in one day because people start selling the stock of LVMH? Why are people selling the stock of LVMH? This is interesting because then we have another article that talks about that as well. From the Markets Business Insider, their headline reads, LVMH, Hermes, and other luxury stocks suffer a $30 billion rout as investors brace for a U.S. spending slowdown. And this is a worldwide spending slowdown, but in particular in the U.S., this instance has made LVMH lose $11 billion in a day. You guys, that's insane. This is also very indicative of something. What does this actually tell us? This tells, and even Hermes losing, this tells us that people are radically slowing down with their purchases. And we're not talking about the 1% of the super ultra rich that already have whatever they want anyway. So it's kind of like debatable whether or not somebody who has that amount of money really needs to buy a Speedy every other week from LVMH or a Capucine and exotics. Like, it gets boring after a while if you're that rich, you know what I mean? You kind of look forward to other things. So what we're talking about here is that middle class, and right underneath the middle class tier of customer that is backing out, and it's causing a heck of a ruckus. Allegedly, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion, by the way. So the fact that so many, apparently, people that own stocks are just dumping them, and 11 billion were lost is huge. But here's the plot twist, you guys, because, and this is what both of these articles kind of mention, and I'm paraphrasing here, despite the fact that there's been this huge loss in one day, 11 billion in one day for Arnault is a lot, still, these brands are making a profit as opposed to what they were earning last year. So even when this hits them, they're still in the plus. Could you imagine the amount of billions that are circulating in the luxury world? It's insane. But also the article says that European luxury stocks slumped on Tuesday morning as fears grew of a US spending slowdown. So usually this often happens, when something happens, when the stock has issues in America, Europe kind of follows, and then Europe has issues as well. And LVMH fell 3%, Hermes dropped 4%, Gucci owner Kering slipped 2%. And the slowing growth in the US is building concern for the sector, says the Deutsche Bank. The Deutsche Bank. So you best believe when the Deutsche Bank is kind of has their little oily fingers mixed in there, something's going down. I mean, why do we also hear always the name of Deutsche Bank when we're talking about weird Donald Trump assets, allegedly? Why do we hear about the Deutsche Bank when we hear about the Ghislaine, what's her name? With the other guy in his island, where he allegedly took all the people, young girls mostly. Why is the Deutsche Bank always involved in all of these things in the headlines? You know what I mean? It's like so sus to me. Epstein. Yes, thank you, Leanne. Yes. Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein. Right. Like, why is the Deutsche Bank always involved in everything? And now they're also the ones who are telling us, hey, the luxury bubble is bursting. But isn't this interesting, you guys, how coincidentally this news of this bubble bursting, and let me tell you something, when you're that rich and that deep into business, like you're the owner of LVMH or Kering, we're talking at those levels, I'm sure you have some sort of allegedly insider info, like how your business is working. If something's going to go down, you smell it in your blood, in your urine, you feel something is going to happen, right? And then I have this feeling, I don't know, I'm just asking myself, is it a coincidence that we've had this announcement of the Neverfull becoming limited, almost discontinued, right before their stocks crash-ish. It's almost like to create FOMO and like huge demand literally a couple of days before their stocks collapse. I don't know. Is it just a coincidence? Because sounds very sus to me that they're announcing like, our best sellers, the stuff you like to buy the most, is going to be really hard to get now. And people rush to buy it over the weekend because when did the news drop? Also very, very sketchy. The news about the Neverfull dropped literally right before the weekend. Literally on the weekend, like from Friday to Saturday. The Neverfull discontinuation / limitation dropped. That news dropped. People went ballistic over the weekend and into the new week, buying whatever they can find, the people who fell for the FOMO. And then on Tuesday, LVMH stocks collapse. And here we are, sitting together on a Wednesday, analyzing this whole situation. Zara says, Dacob, I feel like you predicted this about the middle-class consumer. Thank you, Zara. Thank you. I'm very happy when somebody acknowledges the hard work I do to get these analytics going. So Gloria says, I thought they didn't want people purchasing their products. Well, what they want is you to crave them even more. They want you to purchase. They just want to make sure that you are as obsessively devoted to the brand as possible. Part of creating that devotion in you is by creating constant FOMO. Whether it be FOPI, fear of price increases, FOMO, fear of missing out, or also a fear that if you don't keep spending on a regular basis, your sales associate might stop responding to your requests, to your messages, asking for certain products. So in reality, for me personally, it feels very much so like these higher end luxury brands, some of them, most of them, allegedly, are really walking on thin ice here. I mean, it's legal, but should it be legal? I don't think it should be legal because they're really messing with the psychology of us consumers to a point where they turn us into their, it's a very harsh word, but slaves. You're just such an adept to their needs that you stop thinking about your own needs. And this is why we have these situations where sometimes people come for me or my other fellow colleagues who call these brands out when there's reason to call them out. And then you got consumers in the comments saying, how dare you throw shade at Chanel, at Louis? I'm like, who are you to the brand? What loyalty do you owe them? They don't owe you any loyalty. Like, you're bringing them money. You're literally bringing them money. So, but the fact that there's actually people out there that don't get it, they've been brainwashed. It just shows you that they've been brainwashed by brand marketing. And that's where I think laws should be put in place to protect the consumer from this extreme exposure to the wild, wild west when it comes to brand marketing. Quite frankly, it's gone to a point where I hear people sending me, I read messages from people sending me stuff saying, oh, Dacob, I just, through my sales associate, got a bag at Chanel. They sent it over to me because I don't live close to the boutique. And I opened up the bag and it's flawed. Okay, $7,000 spent on this and it's flawed. But I'm too scared to write my sales associate back to tell them that the bag is flawed. I'm scared because they might get upset with me. And they might not ever want to sell me another bag like this again. Or they might not offer me to buy it. I'm like, first of all, we got to change this whole concept of you're being offered a bag. No. To offer something to someone means you're giving it to them for free. But the way that these brands have formulated these words and the way that they phrase everything, they slowly, bit by bit, chip at you and brainwash you into believing that you should be thankful that they are allowing you to spend thousands of dollars with them. So you see these unboxings of these people. Oh, I'm so lucky. My sales associate offered me this really rare bag. And then what happens then? Just notice it. You guys, do me a favor. Once you're done watching this video, go watch luxury bag unboxings. It's like lemmings. All of them repeat the same stuff. It's almost like somebody wrote a script for them. It's like they've been indoctrinated. Why? Because they're going to tell you, I'm so lucky, my sales associate offered me this bag. Then they're going to tell you, oh, and my sales associate said that this is only one of 3 that's sold in the country. This is only one of 2 that's available in the country. I was so lucky. Again, they're all going to repeat the same stuff. Almost all of them. Almost all of them. And you're going to end up in that video, watching that video, feeling like, wait, so the consumer is grateful that a brand overcharged them for a bag, and the consumer is now literally brainwashed into the position to say, thank you so much. Thank you. Here, I open my wallet. Here, take whatever you want. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking everything you want. Please take whatever you want. I want to be a part of this cult. I want to be a part of this weird family, which feels like a cult more and more. The more time progresses and the more brand marketing of these high-end luxury brands feels to me like a cult. Very scary. I'm not saying don't enjoy these brands. You should enjoy these brands. I enjoy them as well. But we have to have a healthy approach to consuming these brands. Don't overconsume. Buy what really makes you happy, what you feel like embellishes your life in that moment. But try to always ask yourself before you purchase something, is it worth the money? Is it worth my time? Is it worth the love that I'm going to have for this piece? Am I really going to use it? Am I really going to wear it? Or am I just buying it because of the FOMO or because of the FOPI? And I wonder, and Carrie Bradshaw moment, and just like that, and just like that, I couldn't help but wonder, are shareholders waking up and noticing the bad quality and service of these high-end luxury brands, some of them? And is that why they think that luxury spending is going to slow down? The stockholders, the shareholders of the stock of these companies, are they waking up finally? One doth wonder. And are they waking up to realizing, hold on a minute, these major brands I've invested in with the stocks, they're showing really lack of morality here. You know, the products, more and more people are complaining about the quality, but the prices keep going up. Now, as a stock owner, I'm like super happy because the higher the prices are, the more money I'm going to earn at the end of the year, however the dividends work. But if I notice that the brand is really overstepping their low quality, then I might start thinking, you know what? This is the height it's going to get at. It's just going to get worse from here on out. Let me bail out now while the getting is good. While the getting is good, let me sell my stocks, because I'm noticing that way too many people out there are complaining about the quality of said brands. So before there's a whole kind of movement that's going to put an end to all of this luxury, bad quality luxury, let me sell my stocks while the getting is good. And this is also what this particular situation feels like to me at the moment. This particular $11 billion lost in one day on the stock market by LVMH. That's what it feels like to me. And investors in the luxury goods industry are fretting more and more about a potential slowdown in spending in the US. This is what the article then says. And the Deutsche Bank, here we go, to end it, slowing to negative, as this is quoting the Deutsche Bank, slowing to negative growth year on year in the US is a building concern, especially given signs of softening demand from more economically sensitive, aspirational consumers. Don't you just love how they formulate poverty in a way that it doesn't sound so ratchet? You know? Read between the lines, people. They're telling you most of humanity by now is poor. But let's not call it poor. So let's call it the more economically sensitive, aspirational consumer. I wonder, who did you hire for your PR? Deutsche Bank. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Love you loads. Subscribe, thumb up this video, because these videos deserve to be seen. We need to talk about this. Raise awareness, be a conscious consumer, and as Vivienne Westwood would always say, buy less, choose well, make it last. Love you loads. Subscribe. Bye.